What's up, everyone? Look, I'm coming to you live today because ETH is about to approach its massive multi-year resistance level around $4,000. But here's the thing, everyone's been waiting for a pullback to buy, and the pullbacks have been ridiculously shallow. And when I see pullbacks this shallow with FOMO buyers jumping in at every tiny dip, it tells me a story. It tells me that the longer term investors who are waiting for that deeper pullback might either miss out completely or have to wait a lot longer than they think. Plus, we've got FOMC tomorrow, and that's not the only market moving event this week. Friday brings us NFP, one of the most market moving events of the month, plus a ton of earnings reports coming out. We need to be on high alert literally every single day this week because any one of these events could be the catalyst that finally gives us that deeper correction that everybody has been waiting for. So let's dive into some charts. Let's talk about what to watch for and cover the question on everyone's lips. Are we actually in alt season? Now, if you're new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. I'm Annie and this is Trade Travel Chill. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button right now if you're not already subscribed, because it really helps YouTube share this video out to more people, especially whilst we're live. All right, so let me know in the comments, are you ready to get right into the ETH chart? I'm going to cover other alts as well. But of course, if everyone cares about alt season, we have to start with ETH. Let me see who I can see in the chat so far. Who have I got here? GM, lots of GMs for everyone. Hey, TTC, I can see D, Sander, Claudia. Awesome. Good to see you guys here. Thanks for turning up. Okay, now I know what somebody is going to say in the comments. You're going to make a comment about my audio, and I know, but guys, I just want to be a trader. I don't want to be a sound technician. I don't know what the problem is. It's like, if I talk to you this way and then I talk this way, it doesn't pick it up. So let's just get over that and let's just make some money, okay? Deal? Is that a deal? Forgive me for not being an expert in everything. All right, so as you can see on my chart here, this is my ideal play for Ethereum. And I'm still hoping for this play, but until Ethereum actually starts to top out, we can't really decide where this pullback range might be. Audio is excellent. Thank you. Sounds good. Sounds good for now. Sounds good for now. Wait till I turn my head. But there's a few things about this. Look, first we have to go down to smaller time frames, but let's just stay on the daily for now, because you may notice these two pink lines that I have here. Now, these are high level short orders that I found in the heat maps earlier. So there's this order here, 13.7 at 3,900. So these are shorts waiting to short if the price gets back to 3,900. And then we also have 22.4K waiting at 4,000. So when you put those levels on your chart, you'll see here that they line up basically exactly with the 127 Fibonacci range from the trend-based fibs. So basically what that means is that if you're thinking this is an Elliott wave, then we're still in this is wave 1, 2, 3. So we're still in 3, and we're really just waiting to see where 3 gets exhausted. And it might be that it'll be somewhere around the 127. Like, it can be anywhere from where the price is right now, because we're above the 100%, right? But you just want to combine it with other factors. Sorry, guys. Yeah, you just want to combine it with other factors. So the fact that we've got the shorts there, it's a key resistance. So of course there's going to be shorts there, right? Like, of course people are going to short resistance. So anyway, look, this is my ideal scenario, but I'm not 100% sure if ETH is finished yet and the pullback will start. But like I said, there's so many news events happening this week that any one of them could trigger it. And if we eventually do start, like, who cares where it goes, but if it eventually does start to pull back, then I'm still looking for now at this entry range at 3,100 to 3,425. Obviously, I have to reassess that when the price actually starts to pull back. This is just an idea in advance of that. But until we actually do top out, I really can't say if we're going to pull back that far. So yeah, I'm keeping you updated along the way. You know, I'd like to see in like a range like this, as I've mentioned before. That'd be great. And, you know, it'd be a good opportunity because I do think that from there we will break out to all-time high. So let's have a look at a lower time frame then. Annie, I'd still follow your channel even if I had to lip read every word. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you. Okay, so let's look at a 4-hour time frame. This has the potential to be a rising bearish wedge, which usually, let's see if we can see if you can see your counts. So on the 4-hour time frame, wait, let me draw this out. I don't want to spend too much time on ETH because I know you probably want to talk more about other alts, but it is necessary for me to give you an idea. So this is the peak formation bottom down here, right? And then we're looking, sorry, we're looking for our, sorry guys, we're looking for our rises. At the end of the rises, it's possible that what's happening on the 4-hour is a rising bearish wedge. Now, I say possible because I don't think it's complete yet. So there could be another touch to the oh, look at that. Look at that. Did you see what I just saw? If there's another touch to the top here, it's going to come into these short orders. And that may be where we then see a correction. That would be really delicious, actually. And look, again, might be around news events. So I'd be looking out for this sort of a play. Not really interested in shorting it personally. I'm more interested in getting some nice long-term kind of, you know, buys really for the last, or yeah, well, maybe not the last, but the latter part of the cycle. So yeah, that's what I'd be looking out for anyway. It doesn't look done yet, but it may be done soon. Someone says Pepe is dying. Well, we might take a look at that. So is there anything else I wanted to tell you about that? I think, no. So I think like on the surface, I think ETH is bullish and in the short term it is, but the problem is we've had all these shallow pullbacks, right? So everyone's waiting for a pullback to get in on ETH. And you look here, like there's hardly, now we know why, because now we've just found out that we're in this rising bearish wedge, but we've had this, like this is the most we've got. These are just, you know, even like now, you know, very, very small pullbacks. So this is showing you that any kind of small pullback is where basically people without patience are just willing to buy because they don't think they're going to get any deeper of a pullback. And that can be pretty what do you call it? It's basically a leading indicator of what might come next, because these types of people who are buying these shallow dips, they're scared of missing out and they're not waiting for the proper pullbacks. So what it means is that for now, the patient longer term investors who are waiting for like 15-20% pullbacks, and they really want to load up there, they're either going to just miss the boat entirely. I don't think so, based on what we've just drawn up, or they're just going to have to wait a lot longer, which is what I think is a bit more likely. So do I think we'll get a deeper pullback eventually? Yeah, absolutely. Looking at this, I do. But it's just probably going to take one or two things. What are those two things? Either it's going to be a major news event that catches everyone off guard, or it's going to be an over-leveraged market that gets everyone squeezed. So then the question becomes, well, how do we watch for those conditions? So there's two key things that I'm monitoring. And one of those things, first of all, is leverage. I keep a close eye on sites like CoinGlass and Coinalyze, for open interest and leverage ratios, because when everyone's long and leveraged, that's when we get those like really violent pullbacks. I'll show you in a second what to look out for. The second is funding rates. And when the funding rates get extremely high, it means that there's too much long bias in the market, and that usually precedes a correction. So if we have a high positive funding rate, it means that there's a large number of traders that are aggressively taking long positions in the perpetual futures market, they're willing to pay a premium to hold their long positions, and that will eventually cause the futures price to become significantly higher than the spot price. And when that happens, if it starts to happen for too long, it means that the market is too far stretched in one direction, and that's when we see the pullback. So that's why it's really important to monitor those sorts of things. Then for the second indicator, being like news events, I monitor Forex Factory and also Business Insider, because we need to know every single market moving event this week, not just the FOMC. So speaking of events, let's talk about this week. Everyone's focused on FOMC tomorrow, but that's not the only thing that could move the markets. For the FOMC tomorrow, the overwhelming consensus, I think I have something here to show you. Let me see. Hang on. Yes, here. So the overwhelming consensus is a hold at 4.25 to 4.5%. We're talking, what is this on? 96.8 right now, right? So that's a 96.8% probability. So basically baked in, right? That's the moral of the story, is basically baked in. The real action will be in Powell's press conference. So if he sounds dovish, meaning he's more open to future cuts, that's generally good for risk assets like crypto. But if he sounds hawkish and cautious about cutting rates, that could give us a bit of short-term pressure. But here's a key point. FOMC might not be the event that triggers our pullback. We've got other data releases, like I said, all week long. So have a look at this, for example. All of these red folders, we've literally got something every day, and any one of these could be a trigger, not to mention a million earning reports right here. So we've got Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Visa, MasterCard. No, none of these are happening. No, it's the 29th. So this is all from, Visa may have already happened, or maybe it's happening today. But look, look how much we've got, right? So we've got a lot of earning reports. We've got a lot of news events. And this is why I'm saying that we need to be on alert every single day this week, not just tomorrow for FOMC, but literally every day, because one surprise data point, like one unexpected development, we could get that deeper pullback that, well, hopefully everyone's waiting for. Hopefully the smart traders are waiting for, right? So let's talk about altcoins, because this is where it gets a little bit interesting. We know that ETH is showing strength, obviously, right? And that is obviously also bullish for the broader altcoin market. But here's your reality check. Not all altcoins are following what ETH is doing, okay? So if you haven't been around before in an alt season, it's not that like people are saying, oh, ETH runs first and everything runs next. We've had this discussion about why ETH has been so bullish lately, but what we're seeing right now isn't necessarily a sign of a full-blown alt season. What we're seeing right now is definitely a narrative-driven mini alt season. Like, yes, ticks the box on that, but we've had many of them this cycle, many of them. Meme coin season was one, right? But right now, what we have is the US ETF narrative coins that are absolutely crushing it. But if we pull up some other alts, like let's go have a look. What should we have a look at? I'll tell you what to have a look at. Like, let's have a look at Arweave, for example, right? I shouldn't laugh, it's mean. So you have a look at Arweave on the daily chart, and like, what is this? Like, it hasn't done anything. It's still ranging. What else can I show you? Probably Audi, I reckon, too. Let's have a look at Audi, probably doing nothing also. Yeah, look. Audi just ranging sideways doing that. Oh, let's look at, I know, a terrible one. Let's look at Rune. Look at Rune. This looks like it's a rug pull. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mean to be mean, but look, it's terrible. This looks terrible, right? And even I think Tia as well is another one. Look, Tia's still in a downtrend technically. So yeah, alt season doesn't look like this. Alt season is where basically everything is going up together. But there are examples of lots of coins right now that aren't doing anything, or they're just stuck in sideways ranges, and they just like to date, they just haven't broken out of their consolidation patterns yet. So yeah, it doesn't tick the box on full blown alt season, but if your eyes are only focused on the US ETF narrative coins, then yeah, it looks like alt season's here, right? We're definitely in a mini narrative driven alt season with that specific narrative performing well. I just don't think we can call this an all out alt season just yet. We need to see broader participation across different sectors and narratives for that to happen. And look, for a true alt season, I would want to see ETH breaking and holding above that multi-year resistance, that 4K level with conviction. I'd want to see broader participation beyond just ETF narrative plays. And I want to see volume expansion across the altcoin market cap, like everything, right? So I think we're getting potentially close, but I don't think we're there quite yet. So with that in mind, how